Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about how narcissistic people keep you drained so that you no longer have the energy, you no longer have the fight left within you to think for yourself, to stop emotionally reacting to them, to see the bigger picture, to get out and create a happier life for yourself until you hit that point of rock bottom and there's just something that hits and it hits hard and you feel like you have no choice left but to get out. And then you're left trying to figure yourself out, trying to figure them out, trying to figure life out and building yourself back up. Many people do leave with nothing and do leave emotionally, physically, financially drained and build themselves back up to create a much happier life for themselves. So just how do narcissistic people keep us drained? Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissist personality disorder to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So when it comes to narcissistic people, they find many different manipulative methods, manipulation tactics to keep us emotionally, physically, financially, psychologically, mentally, and spiritually drained so that we don't feel like we have the power, we don't feel like we have the fight within us. And we end up fawning and conforming to their behaviour without even realising what is happening to us. And if this was your parents, you don't know any different. If it's your partner, they get you to a place where you're that drained that you don't know until you're in that deep that you're crawling your way back out. Narcissists keep you drained to influence your behaviour, to influence your character, to serve themselves. So narcissistic people start off by deceiving people, by deliberately deceiving people into believing the narcissist is someone the narcissist isn't. And this isn't done to... People can build themselves up, insecure people can build themselves up without malicious intentions. Narcissistic people tend to have malicious intent behind their behaviour due to their exploitative behaviour, due to the fact that they feel entitled and they lack empathy to care. So they're going to deceive you. They're going to influence you by idolising, by love bombing, by breadcrumbing, future faking, mirroring, by selling you that illusion of everything that you would like out of life. Only they claim they want the same things too. So when life isn't working out the way you expected it to work out with them, and they're busy blaming you because you believe they want the same things as you, when they offer those future fakes, when they come back and idolise you, you don't leave because you're clinging on to that hope that if you change, everything will change into what it was supposed to be. And as they breadcrumb more and more and more, it gives us that false hope that if we step away now, not only are we letting ourselves down, but we're also letting them down. So if we just stay a little bit longer, all will be okay. Only it's never okay, because that future fake, that promise in the future that a narcissist is saying is to get their needs met in the present moment, by using the future so that they don't have to deliver on that promise. And then when that future comes, they gaslight, they turn around and say that they never said that, or if only you hadn't, to confuse you, to drain you, to cause that reasonable doubt within your mind. They rationalise things away with ease so that we have that reasonable doubt within our minds that perhaps maybe it's us that's the problem and not them. Perhaps if we just work a little bit harder. Well, fair enough, everybody else is doing it, so perhaps I should be willing to do something like that. Well, everyone else thinks that I'm going a little bit crazy, so perhaps it is me that's going a little bit crazy. They're going to plant those seeds of reasonable doubt within your mind. When they come at you and say, I never said that, and they might have said it in a different context to how you ask them the question. And to the narcissist, they never said that. They've got their needs met. They've forgotten all about it. And you're left questioning your reality. You're left questioning your past. You're left with that doubt within your mind. And as they project out onto you, so if you go and call them out on behaviours, if you go and ask if they've been cheating and they project onto you and accuse you of cheating, if you ask them about something you found out, so you believe they've lied to you and they accuse you of being a liar, they accuse you of being hung up on your past, they cause you to have trust issues, and then they blame their behaviour on your trust issues to cause that reasonable doubt within your mind, to rationalise, to excuse their behaviour. And the problem with that reasonable doubt is that doubt is very valid within our minds. So we can't see the bigger picture. And with the burden of proof, when we don't have proof, because it might have just been verbal words that were said, we don't want to push it too much, because when you do push it too much with a narcissist, they're going to provoke those arguments. They're going to create that conflict to cause those arguments, but to keep within their behaviour of creating that reasonable doubt within your mind, they're going to accuse you, they're going to project onto you, they're going to say to you, why do you always have to create an argument? I don't want to argue with you now. To shut you down, to stop you speaking your truth, to stop you from getting your point of view across, to stop you having a mind dump and getting everything out of your head so that it's all swirling around in your head and keeping you drained, causing things like anxiety, depression, confusion, frustration, anger within you. And then when they've got you to that point of anger, they're going to pull on all your insecurities. They're going to pull on all the things that matter to you the most, as these are the things that you are going to defend. These are the things that you care about. They are going to go after any and all of your insecurities to chip away at you, to drain you, to confuse you, to hurt you, to pull you down, to keep that doubt within your mind, so that you're left in a place of insecurity. They don't give you comfort, they withdraw comfort to make you feel insecure, to create those feelings of uncertainty, which helps with those thoughts of reasonable doubt. They're creating an environment of instability, that unpredictability of the environment that you're living in, no longer knowing whether you can even cook right, whether you can clean right, whether you can bring home the right amount of money, as they go all out to invalidate everything about who you are as a person, to bring you crashing down so that you don't feel enough as a person, so that you're always working harder to try and please them while they're always devaluing you and taking you down. Because in all honesty, the narcissist themselves most likely doesn't feel enough. Therefore, they've got to tear you down to feel better within. They've got to take you down to a place where you're that drained. They find it easier to control you so that you won't abandon them. But because you are that drained, you're no longer serving them as they want you to, so they will abandon you. But then they offer those intermittent reinforcements where they start to play nice, the whole reward punish So when you've worked harder to try and please them, they're going to bring back the affection, the attention, and the support. They're going to care for you. They're going to deliver on a promise they made. They're going to do something to breadcrumb you, to suck you back into their games. And then when you don't do as they say, when you don't do as they please, they're going to punish you again by withdrawing attention, affection, and support away from you. They are going to go all out to neglect you. They're going to fail to care for you. But as a narcissist likes to project out onto you, they're going to claim that you're failing to care for them, that you're neglecting them. So you're working harder constantly to please them, not realising they're draining everything out of you. They're going to drain you physically, emotionally, and financially. They're going to neglect the finances so that you're the one that's picking up after the finances, constantly causing that worry, causing that stress within you. Or they're not going to allow you to work to create enough income to support yourself, causing that stress, causing that financial burden, that worry. They're going to emotionally neglect you. They're going to neglect your emotions. They're going to invalidate you. They're going to call you too sensitive. They're going to claim that you're overreacting. When you react to them, when they provoke that argument and bait you into that argument, and because you're so drained, you come from an emotional state of thinking and you haven't got the rational thought process to deal with the situation you're in, so you emotionally react to them. They're going to chip away until you emotionally react to them. And then once they've got that reaction from you, that's all they need to blame everything on you, to accuse you of having the problems. A narcissist will bait you until you scream out, rage out at them, and then they're going to stand back, look confused, and ask you what your problem is, which is the emotional side. They drain your emotional intelligence so that you can no longer keep a lid on your emotions. We all have emotions. These are normal things that everybody has to deal with. Happiness, joy, sad, anger, resentment, frustration. We all have emotions, and our mind controls our emotions, and we can usually control our emotions. However, when you're living with a narcissist, when you're living in a state of confusion, when you're constantly being drained, it's hard to keep a lid on your emotions. And all the negative things that a narcissist is feeling, they're going to go all out to bait, to bring out within you so that you emotionally react to them and they can blame everything on you. However, they're going to get you in a situation where you can't discuss your emotions with them, so you can't release those emotions safely. So it builds up and it builds up and it builds up until it explodes. And then when you explode, you also blame yourself, working harder to please the narcissist so the narcissist can carry on draining you. And once you are drained, a narcissist will devalue you all the more, and then they will discard you. They'll be envious of something new and they will discard you. They will move on. If it's a parent, they'll move on to a sibling, a cousin, one of their friends. If it's a partner, they'll find somebody new. If it's a child, they'll no longer be interested. They will be exploiting somebody else. If you're not financially providing for your adult child, they will go and find someone who will financially provide for them. And then when that someone isn't financially providing for them, they'll come back to you. And it's not a case of somebody who needs a little bit of help. This is deception. When people need a little bit of help, they're usually grateful that you've helped them out and try and work things out and then move on, and they're thankful for the support, but you both forget about it and move on. A narcissist is going to come and want support from you, yet they're going to twist it where you've got to be eternally grateful that you supported them, and when you're no longer supporting them, they will up and leave. Because they've got you that drained, because they've got you that confused, because they've got you to the point where you're questioning, well, is it me that's being selfish? Is it me that's expecting too much? Is it me reacting to them? Am I the abusive one? Am I the narcissist? Because they've got you doubting yourself, questioning yourself, blaming yourself. When they come back for the hoover, when they come back with those false promises of the future, when they breadcrumb you, when they suck you back into their games because you are that drained, it's easy to fall back into the emotional roller coaster with them because you don't realise what's happening. And because most of the time you are taking accountability for your behaviour and you're blaming yourself. You're not realising what is getting you to the point you are at, the underlying root cause. Yes, we all have to take responsibility for our own behaviour. When you're being deceived, when you're being conned, you don't see what's happening to you. It's only once you see what's happening to you that you can start creating the changes within you to no longer allow it to happen to you. And this is when narcissists come out with smear campaigns and so many games to drain you all the more. They drag you through the court system to keep you drained, to keep taking everything from you. And that's when you have to keep fighting to gain everything back for you, to not let them win. The best way to beat a narcissist is self-care, is getting your financial health back, your physical health back, your mental health back, your emotional health back, and finding the things that you enjoy doing for you, starting with all the things the narcissist wouldn't let you do, so that you're coming from a better place, so that once you are no longer drained, even when they come at you, because you're no longer drained, you can manage the situation better, no longer emotionally reacting to them. It takes time, it takes practice, it's worth it. And because of the way narcissistic people work, this is why no contact is always the best method. If you can't do no contact, then it needs to be limited contact in Grey Rock. If anyone has any thoughts on the video, please add those into the comments. I shall add into the description the video about the 5 environments that narcissistic people keep us in. The narcissist neglect, the cycle of narcissistic abuse, the narcissist reward punish, and why narcissistic people tend to cause arguments that they blame us for. And yes, we do have to take responsibility for our own behaviour. This is an excellent quality to have. However, narcissistic people don't take responsibility for their own behaviour. They pass responsibility over to you. And those who do take responsibility often take responsibility for the narcissist behaviour. At some point, we have to separate the two. We have to take responsibility for our own behaviour, and we have to pass responsibility back to the rightful owner for theirs. When dealing with a narcissist, this process is best done in your head or written down or talking to somebody close to you, not passing responsibility back verbally to a narcissist because they're just going to twist it and turn it and blame everything on you. Thank you very much for listening. Go out there, create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.